everyone is really excited about is Zende.
Zende.
Zende, sorry.
Inspector Zende.
Yes, and it's looking really so exciting to see Manoj Bajpayee in it, and Jim Sarab, and we have the casting itself is really great. Tell me, how did this project come about, and for you as a producer, because you're producing it, you're not directing it.
So it's a very exciting thing that happened with Inspector Zende. So I'll take you back a little bit. So I feel that the way you grow up as a child in your younger days is something that has a very deep impact on you. And my father was a huge fan. My father, my father was a journalist, and he was a huge fan of Inspector Zende, because when my father was active as a journalist, Inspector Zende was an inspector, then an ACP. So he was there in Mumbai, and we are from Mumbai. So my father was extremely, fascinated with this guy. So he used to tell me a lot of stories about, Mr. Zende and the things that he did, etc. So always this man has been like a thing, part of our life growing up as a child. And then my father always said that his act and his things that he's done. One of that is something that we have captured in the film. But there are so many things that Inspector Zende has always been such a fascinating story. There have been so many stories that are fascinating that he said, one should actually make a film on it. And my father, when he was a journalist, he would do some news pieces on him and things like that. So he kind of started this for me in a way. And when I got into the films, I felt that that's a story that I would want to tell, because that's a film that my father thought should have been made. And that's how this journey kind of began. And I had a fortune of meeting Mr. Zende once and talking to him about this. And he's a great guy. I mean, he's he's 88 years old today. When I met him, which was a few years ago, he was very excited, and he's like, yeah, we should do this. And he was very helpful with this. This was during Tanaji, when I was making Tanaji. And it kind of started from there. And then after I finished Tanaji, we said that we will start, working on it. So I started writing it. And you sometimes get stuck as a writer. And that's when you kind of discuss this with your friends. And Chinmay Mandlekar, who's the writer-director of this film, is somebody who's a very dear friend of mine. And we've worked together. I mean, not many people know my first Marathi film, Lokmanya, on Lokmanya Tilak's life. Also a Marathi, Maharashtra-born national hero. Chinmay was part of that project as well. Chinmay was an actor in that film. So we used to talk about things, and he's been part of the core team. So we used to always talk about it. And one fine day, we said that, Chinmay, why don't you take a shy of writing this film? So Chinmay said, okay, and we had done some research by then. So Chinmay took the research, and he did a lot of research after that, but this is like the initial stage of writing. And he went out and he wrote the script, and he came back and we did a narration. And I said, oh, this is a very different take. This is a fantastic take on what the story is. It's a very different, fresh perspective of looking at this film, of the story. So then we sat down and I said, oh, you know what? Now this is something that I can't direct, because this is not what I would have done as a writer. And you've completely changed the landscape of this film. And he's got a sense of humor. He's got this quirky, flair in his writing. So then we sat down and we were discussing one day, and I asked him, at a party actually, that I asked him that, hey, why don't we, try and figure out that why don't you go out and direct this film? So he said, he took a small pause and he said, hey, you know what, let's try. And that's how the journey actually started. Then we pitched it to Mr. Bajpayee and to Netflix. And Netflix was very supportive. They come up with such a huge knowledge bank, and they have so many releases in a year. They understand the pulse. They understand what's going on. So it's a great journey that kind of started with just the two of us sitting in our old office and trying to figure out how to make this film, to all these big people, like an actor like Manoj Bajpayee coming in, Jim coming in, Netflix bringing their might, them coming in. It just changed the game, right? So thanks to everybody, all the team members, all the producers, Netflix, uh, all the actors to kind of to make this dream possible.
Was it always planned as an OTT release, or did you think of probably trying it out on theaters, or did the current
No.
scenario somewhere influence
Oh
your
no,
decision?
no, oh no, nothing like that. See, I personally feel that when we make cinema, when we make films, the only need for an artist is to reach as much as an audience as you want to reach, right? You want to reach wider audience, you want to reach more and more people, and when you come on a platform like Netflix, your film is actually seen by over 100 countries, right? So many people, so many languages that they have their subtitles, dubbed versions, like different formats in different countries. So this story kind of goes out to a larger audience, and that is something that becomes quite interesting. Now, when it comes to Inspector Zende, yes, he's a national figure because he's done some extraordinary work, in his thing. But he's also a Marathi superhero, right? He's somebody who comes from the land that I come from, and Chinmay comes from, right? So we are from Maharashtra, we are from Mumbai, and Inspector Zhende's career flourished in this city and in this state. So, be it Lokmanya, the film on Lokmanya Tilak, which was my first film, that was again, as I've always said, Marathi born national figure who also had an international acclaim. Subedar Tanaji Rao Malusare, who was also a Marathi lieutenant of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, who changed the history. I mean, if not the sacrifice that Subedar Tanaji Malusare would have done, the history and geography of this nation would have been different, because as the capital in the north was Delhi, the Mughals wanted to set up a capital in the south, which was in Kundana. So if he would have not done the valor, and if he would have not sacrificed himself to get the fort back, we would have had a different southern peninsula of India, right? It would be a different thing. So yes, these are Marathi heroes. Yes, there are grassrooted Marathi personalities, but at the same time, their contribution at a national and international level is too high. So I think stories like this excite me a lot as a boy who grew up not far from here, and these are the stories that I would like to tell.
Can we expect a mythological movie from your end ever? Would you attempt that space again?
Something that I cannot talk about right now, but there is something that I would like to explore.
Oh wow!
Because I feel it's all about the rich
Right.
history and culture that we have in our nation, and the stories that have to be told.